First and foremost, I'm very appreciative of Will and people here at NC State being willing to play us. We make a lot of these phone calls. And the fact that you know, we do it as a home and home. We make a lot of these phone calls, and a lot of them don't get answered, or we get a flat no. And you know, these are important games for both teams, right? Like, you know, it's you know, two pretty good teams. That team, I just said on our radio, like, don't be surprised on Selection Sunday when you see, you know, 25, 26, 27, 28 wins next to their name. You know, and I would tell the fans here, keep your weekends open in March, because you might be busy for a couple. You know, but proud of our fight. You know, the disappointment for us is we didn't even play well. You know, we didn't play well, and we were right there. You know, and just left too many plays on the board in a two-possession game.
Coach, I'll start. Every time they looked like they were going to pull away, you guys were right there. How much do you think, one, the Utah State game played into that, getting you guys ready for this kind of game? Just how do you think you guys were able to keep it close like that? Yeah, I mean, they have a belief about them, right? And some of it is from the Utah State game. Some of it is just who they are, you know, in their own experiences. But yeah, I mean, there was no flinch, right? Like we again, it was 7, it was this, it was that. It's like, okay, you're right. Like, all right, we need one stop right here, we would get it. All right, we need one good possession, we would get it. We just didn't have enough of them to kind of turn those tables where we could separate. You know, we got a quick lead, and then it's gone. Like, but yeah, I mean, we need all these experiences. And I told them in the locker room, like, there's going to be a point. I said, remember this date, November 17th, remember NC State, because there's going to be a point somewhere down the line where I'm standing in front of a joyous locker room and I say, because we did that, because it was NC State, because it was November 17th, that's why we want this game. It's going to be a big win. So I'm very confident of that, but we have to continue to take the right steps forward.
You guys, free throws were a thing against Utah State, couple chances to take the lead tonight. Anything you're seeing schematically there, or anything you're noticing?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm more disappointed in our, we gave up 2 offensive rebounds on free throws, and that was a big emphasis that you know, we couldn't do that to them, including a big one down the stretch. So, no, I mean, we got to continue to step up. We shoot a ton of pressure free throws every day, so you know, we got to step up and make our free throws. I need to do whatever Will did, because he talked about the free throw discrepancy the other night, and it flipped real quick tonight. So,
Coach, back here. You talk about building collective moments with this group. Can you take tonight and use that as a collective moment for Saturday's game and for future games?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why we're doing this, you know. And don't exactly quote me on this, because I haven't studied it. Usually I look these things up. I haven't looked this up, but you know, is there another team in the country that in their first, we played 5 games now, 4 games, that played 2 top 40 teams in non-bye games, right? Not one of these teams that's going around just collecting check, and getting the brains beat in, but a team that went, you know, played a neutral against Utah State, who's going to be an NCAA tournament team and could win some games there. An NC State team on the road that can win many games in the NCAA tournament. So, you know, I don't think anybody else has done that. There's probably those teams that have just collected checks and played those types of teams. But, you know, to go be competitive and be 3 possessions away in those games, that's what this is for. And, you know, like I said, what sucks about both of those games is, like, we did it to ourselves. You know, not to take anything away from those teams. You see the respect I have for them. But we did it, right? We did it, and including me, very much me. But we, as a group, we did it to ourselves. And you know, if we can just clean up those 2-3 possessions and flip that, then we're looking at different outcomes down the stretch.
Coach, you coach at VCU, Coach Wade used to coach at VCU. Do y'all have a relationship based off of that? Like, do you talk outside of the game?
We have, not a ton. I told this story last night to some of our fans that were here. When I was in my first year at Central Connecticut, I don't even know if Will remembers this. I don't know if I've ever said this. I was an assistant at Central Connecticut, and Oliver Purnell was the head coach at Clemson. And he offered me a grad assistant job and brought me down there. And I went down and I get off the plane and I'm getting picked up by this manager, and it was Will. So we were not, it wasn't anything like, we didn't stay like super close after that or anything, but, you know, he drove me around and whatever. You know, the world is small, the basketball world is really small. I ran into him at the Final Four, and what he has said, and he said the other night, is what he said to me. He goes, I would have never left that place. You know, he's like, that place is unreal. Evan Goff and RD is as good as there is in the country. There's resources, the support, the fan engagement, all that stuff. And you know, I appreciated that, you know, and again, I'm appreciative of him. You know, he has not run from these opportunities. He came back when he was at LSU. He played in the Seagulson. He went there when he was at McNeese. He came and played in the Seagulson, and then was willing to do a home and home here again. Like I said, we make a lot of these calls, even for exhibitions, and we can't get people to play.
Coach, starting the season, Barry had played a bit under his usual efficiency level. How good was it to see him get going, have a good game tonight in front of a crowd like this?
Yeah, I mean, the key with Barry is that he needs to be a junkyard dog. Like, that is who he is. That's what he's made his name on. And I think early on, like, and it's a couple of these guys, like, the expectations get to you, right? You start thinking, like, well, I got to be this. Like, no. We need Barry to be the best Barry he can be. We don't need him to be Kevin Durant. We don't need him to be Zeb Jackson. We don't need him to be anybody other than Barry Evans, right? And that means going and being a junkyard dog. And it's helped. I just said this on the radio too. Like, it's helped with him. One of the things for him last year was when we put him on the ball, it got him more engaged, kind of got his focus and energy. So he did that the other night, played better. He did it tonight, he played better. You know, so that's something that we just have to continue to look at. Like, I have, even with his early struggles, I have full confidence. Like, I know what we're going to get with him, and we just have to keep him locked in and engaged, you know, for every possession. And when he does that and worries about, hey, go rebound, go defend, do those things, the ball goes in for him.
You said no moral victories. Is there still a frustration of the fact that these two games, really tight games against good teams, will probably get boiled down to didn't win their quad one chances when we get to March?
If we get there, we'll get there. I'm at this stage, they were great opportunities. We didn't get all the way there. So I just focus on that piece of it. You know, like, people will want to talk about Ken Palms and Nets and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's fun to talk about in March, November. I don't care, right? Like, we win a game by 17 at home and it drops us however many points. Like, again, I'm not saying there's bias in those numbers, but if we were in the ACC and did that, we probably wouldn't drop. You know, but again, we have to take advantage of the opportunities that are there, and that's what hurts, right?
You mentioned the fight. Just how proud were you of the team, the number of turnovers you got in key moments down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, we were right there. We weren't backing away, you know, we were right there. Although sometimes maybe we should have backed away so we didn't foul them 400 times. But, you know, there's no give to this group, right? There's no give to this group. Like, they stand there, you know, again, we took it on the chin in Utah State, right? They were punching us. And you know, with my Philly roots, like Rocky, like, we just kept getting up, right? We just kept getting up. And same tonight, like, all right, like you guys said, like, all right, they're right there. They're trying to throw that one more knockout in one of the huddles. One of those guys said, like, there ain't no knockout. There's no knockout punch here. And you know, so we got a strong jaw. Now we got to be able to give it back, you know, and take those punches, but be able to throw the right punches. Again, literally throw punches, not figuratively. Or, I'm sorry, figuratively. Literally throw punches.
Damn.
But, no. You know, but you know, that's what it has to be. It's got to be, you know, okay, we can take them. We got to make sure we're throwing more punches back, you know, than we're taking.
We can do one more quick one for Coach. If anybody's got one.
Coach, I was talking to Richie McKay at Liberty, and he was saying how hard it is, kind of like what you've stated tonight. It's hard for mid-majors to be scheduled with this Power 5 teams. What would you recommend for these mid-majors to, I know Pepnom doesn't matter now, but for the future, what would you recommend for mid-majors to do when no one answers the phone?
Keep calling, keep badgering, keep looking for opportunities, and that's what we do. And, you know, it's tough because like these are good opportunities, right? Like I think Will probably would sit here and tell you like this is a better opportunity for them than playing some of these other teams, right? And you know, I get it. I understand for a lot of these guys, like they're trying to win as many games in the non-conference because those conference schedules get really, really, really tough. So I do get that. But in a day and age where you're rewarded playing good teams, why not play good teams? You know, and we're one of them, right? Like we're one of them. And again, we're open to neutral opportunities, creative opportunities. Like, you know, Will's got the guts to come into Siegel Center. There ain't a lot of guys out there that have the guts to come to Siegel Center. I'll just say it flat. Like that's just true. But Will has the guts to do it, you know, and it's only going to help him in his program. And I think for other people, like it's only going to help you to play teams like us, right? And you know, when we're all out there looking for quad 1, quad 2 opportunities, like, yeah, come on, like answer the phone, give us an opportunity. We got a bunch of them next year that we have neutral site opportunities. We got that we're like trying to push, but I'm used to it. Like every place I've been, like as an assistant, you know, you think scheduling here is hard. Being an assistant in Niagara, working for a boss who's, you know, the greatest man I know, but he wanted to play the worst schedule possible. We were really good, and no one wanted to play us, and no one wanted to come to Niagara Falls, and right. So like you deal with that. Like you deal with that. Like at Bryant, we were really good. We played a tough style. People didn't want to play us. So you know, you're looking around for opportunities and go like, well, why can't everybody else in the region play each other, but no one will play us? Like, so you deal with that, and in some way, it's a credit to the program, you know, because people really don't want to play you. But at the same time, you know, when you sit there as the coach, you get a little frustrated and say, why wouldn't you play this game? Like, why wouldn't somebody else play the same game? When I think that really helped both teams.